From the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Olivia McClellan.
And I'm Robert Connett. Thanks for joining us.
As Delaware County voters prepare to vote on or before Tuesday, they will see several Democrats on the ballot.
Although they may register under the same party, the differences between these candidates delve far deeper. NewsLink Indiana's Payne Horning reports.
At the Democrats for Delaware County headquarters in downtown Muncie, volunteers are calling for support in the final days before November 4th. They represent a political action committee supporting 6 local Democrats on the ballot this election cycle. But they're not the only Democratic candidates running in Delaware County. On this side of City Hall is the headquarters of the Democrats for Delaware County, also known as Team Democrat. On this side are the official Delaware County Democrats, known by the address of their headquarters on 214 North Walnut.
It's probably one of the great stories in Indiana politics because they're always fighting.
Ray Sheely is a professor of political science at Ball State University and director of its Bowen Center for Public Affairs. He says rival factions are nothing new, but in this county, the split is steeped in history. County Commissioner Larry Bledsoe was one of the founding members of Team Democrat. He was first elected to commissioner with help from 214 back in 2006. But then Bledsoe says there was a falling out.
The conversations turned where it was you'll do this and you'll do that, and here's who you're going to appoint and here's what you're going to pass.
As he started voting more independently in terms of the issues that he thought were important, there was some disagreement from the regular Democrats as to the way he was handling the commissioner's job. And so then they decided, well, we'll have to take him out.
This year, the party is supporting his Republican challenger, Shannon Henry.
A lot of them are dissatisfied with Larry's heavy-handedness and his lack of performance.
Will Statham is the chair of the Delaware County Republican Party. He says in the past, 214 Democrats have gone so far as to support Republicans rather than vote for Team Democrat candidates on the ballot. Statham says that's happening again this year.
It's not because Democrats don't like these candidates. It's because these candidates don't fall in line with what the party tells them they're supposed to do.
Heath Hensley is on the Team Democrat board. Hensley says Mike Scroggins and Sue Arrington are also 214 targets this November. Chairman Steve Stewart declined to speak on these races and this story.
The division today is as wide as I've ever seen it in my 30 years.
Bledsoe likened the tactics of 214 to the once powerful party machines of Chicago. He says until that changes, the Democrats in Delaware County will continue to wage war on one another. In Muncie, Payne Horning, NewsLink Indiana.
Thanks, Payne. For those voting here in Delaware County, there are 3 main races in the Hoosier State that people will be placing their votes for. As you take a look, for Secretary of State, Connie Lawson is the Republican, Democrat Elizabeth White, and at Libertarian is Carl Tatkenhorst. For Auditor of State, you have the Republican Suzanne Crouch, Democrat Michael A. Clater, and John Schick is the Libertarian. And for Treasurer of State this year, Kelly Mitchell is the candidate for Republican Party, Mike Boland is the Democrat, and Michael L. Jasper is the Libertarian. Overall, there are 25 different races that Delaware County residents will be voting for. Later on in the show, we will show you who else you can vote for. And so, Olivia, hopefully the weather will be nice for those voters tomorrow. Perfect conditions for this time of the year today, sunny and warm.
Yeah, Halloween was freezing, but today was beautiful. So, Ellen, what can we expect for the rest of the week?
Well, you guys might not be a big fan of me after what I'm about to tell you. It's going to be important to go out and vote anyway. Voting is great, but looking at tomorrow might be a little hairy in that situation. Today was a high of 65 and a low of 40, which is kind of right on track for this time of year. We were a little above average, but it was beautiful outside, absolutely. Currently, it is 57 degrees with kind of a little gusty winds from south-southwest at 15 miles per hour, but it's definitely beautiful. So it's a great night to take a walk with those clear skies and calm conditions for the most part. Now, if we look at current temperatures across the state, we have 57 in Bloomington, 55 in Lafayette, 55 here in Indianapolis as well. Now, if we look ahead at what to expect in the weather, it's going to be rainy throughout this week. some freezing low temperatures, and possible return of snow.
Thanks, Ellen. Just a few days before elections, a convicted sex offender, Tony Parga, was mistakenly released from the Marion County Jail Saturday after a court clerk made an error with his paperwork. This error brought attention to the Marion County Sheriff candidates, especially Republican candidate Emmett Carney. Indianapolis Mayor Greg Ballard disapproved of Carney at a news conference Tuesday by saying the Marion County Jail needs better leadership. He also said 23 prisoners have been mistakenly released during Carney's time. Carney's plan is to improve the sheriff's department and provide better training.
Coming up, find out how Ball State students feel about tomorrow's elections.
And a little holiday shopping advice for those looking to get ahead. Start when NewsLink Indiana returns.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
This is NewsLink Indiana.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Brittany Maynard, a woman who was battling terminal brain cancer and gained national attention, ended her life at her home this weekend with her loved ones by her side.
And her controversial decision under Oregon's Death with Dignity Act went viral last month. Carol Costello has the story.
It's a heartbreaking story. Brittany Maynard was 29 years old and married for just over a year when she found out she had brain cancer.
I was diagnosed this past New Year's. We went away to the wine country for kind of a New Year's Eve celebration, and by Jan 1, the following day, I was diagnosed with cancer and told I was terminally ill.
Doctors told Maynard in April she had an aggressive brain tumor and gave her 6 months to live. Maynard quickly decided she didn't want her family to watch her dying in pain, so she and her husband moved from California to Oregon to take advantage of the state's Death with Dignity law. Oregon is one of only 5 states with legal protections for terminally ill patients.
It's in a safe spot, and I know that it's there when I need it.
Maynard qualified for physician-assisted suicide in Oregon. She was able to obtain a prescription for lethal medication and to plan out how she wanted to live her final days.
I will die upstairs in my bedroom that I share with my husband, with my mother and my husband by my side, and pass peacefully with some music that I like in the background.
Maynard is the 6th person under the age of 35 to use Oregon's Death with Dignity Act since it was put into effect back in 1997.
The identity of a man who was killed by a train Saturday has still not been identified. Delaware County Coroner Scott Hahn said Monday the fingerprints of the man have been taken. However, no name has yet to be found. The man was struck by a train west of Muncie. According to Hahn, the victim was a white male and has had open heart surgery. Initial reports stated the incident may have been a suicide. However, the reasoning behind the man's death remains unknown.
And now it's time for a look at today's quick question of the day, and for that we will send it to Brittany Dean.
With tomorrow being election day, I was curious as to how many of our students are actually participating.
I'll vote 5 times. I think it's important because the more votes you know, I feel like the system should vote, or else it's just a waste of resources.
I'm not voting for midterms because they're not important to me and I don't care. I voted when early voting opened because every vote matters.
I'm currently registered back at home, so I'm not voting here, sadly, but I plan on voting when I go back home.
With your quick question, I'm Brittany Dean, NewsLink Indiana.
Thanks, Brittany. Ball State students and Delaware County residents have many races to vote for this election year. Overall, there are 25 total races, and that does not include school board and township races. Locally, judges for 3 different circuit courts will be decided, along with county sheriff and county coroner, to name a few more. Delaware County voters will also decide the winner of District 6. The candidates this year are Republican Luke Metzer, Democrat Susan Hull Heitzman, and Libertarian Eric Miller.
Even if you think it's too soon to start holiday shopping, you might consider sitting down to plan your budget and spending. Karen Kaifa has tips in today's Consumer Watch.
Now that the calendar has flipped to November, holiday expenses like shopping and travel are on the minds of many consumers. You may not be ready to get out and shop yet, but it is a good time to plan for end-of-year expenses, starting with a realistic idea of what you'll be able to spend on gifts and on holiday visits to family and friends. Don't overlook the little things. That can include meals at the airport during trips, postage for Christmas cards, holiday tipping, and even new clothes for holiday parties. If you've been saving points or miles from frequent traveler programs or credit cards, consider how that haul could help trim holiday expenses. Because for the peak holiday travel season, those miles may not translate into free tickets, but see how you might cash them in for gift cards and other discounts. Starting on a gift list early also gives more time to comparison shop. Some retailers are rolling out their holiday sales earlier than Black Friday. And don't count on last-minute deals. Shopping at the last minute can leave consumers under pressure as retailers try to clear shelves, and you may end up spending more. For Consumer Watch, I'm Karen Kaifa.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
This is NewsLink Indiana.
Now, Rob, today was beautiful. It wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold, but I hear it's supposed to get cold coming up.
Yeah, hopefully it won't get too cold, but of course we have the winter season approaching and it's probably going to be cold with that coming. So we're going to send it to Ellen Fritz. Tell us exactly how cold it's supposed to be for the rest of the week. Ellen?
Thanks, Rob. It's going to be not too bad actually for the next couple days when it comes temperature-wise, so don't worry about that. Currently outside, it's 57 degrees, clear skies, and beautiful. The winds are from the south-southwest at 15 miles per hour, so it's a little breezy. If you're going out there, prepare for that. But it's definitely a beautiful fall night. Now look at current temperatures around the state. We have 57 down in Bloomington, 55 in Lafayette, and 55 in Indianapolis. Now looking at the satellite radar, 9:15 current right now, we have this long line of storms associated with a cold front. At the moment, it's not really bothering us. But throughout the week, this is going to be a major story when it comes to the weather and what to expect. Now for tomorrow, it means rain. It's going to be a high of 57, so it won't be chilly, but it's going to be mostly cloudy and rain starting at noon. And now the problem isn't going to be the temperature, but the wind is going to be 14 to 16 miles per hour. So that means that rain is going to be coming at you at different angles. So make sure you have a jacket, umbrella, maybe even boots if you need to, going to class or to work. So definitely prepare for that rain. Now, why is this rain coming? As I said, there is a cold front moving into our area, but what's kind of unique about this is that it's going to be moving diagonally across the state. So that means it'll stay with us for a longer period of time than if it just kind of crossed. So tomorrow it's going to move into our area, and then it's going to continue upward, even potentially bothering us on Wednesday. So take a look at precision cast to kind of get a better look at what this rain means to us. So around 6 a.m. on Tuesday, tomorrow, the cloudiness is going to start here in Muncie. And then this precipitation is going to move in. And around 3 p.m. it's really going to start raining here. It's not going to be too heavy, nothing severe weather-wise, so you don't have to worry about those kind of issues. But it is going to be consistent rain throughout the day. And so on Wednesday it'll start to be a little bit cloudy around 5 a.m., but it'll kind of clear out through the afternoon so that it's going to be nicer at nighttime. Now Thursday it's going to bring in some more rain because it's kind of looping back around, bringing in lighter showers, but those will be a little bit more gentle for the most part. So kind of scattered showers, patchy clear skies for the most part, so it should be not too bad. Now, as I said, Tuesday through Thursday there are showers, but temperatures in the 50s. Now, the real kind of issue with temperature is the polar vortex is kind of coming to pay a visit on Sunday and Monday, so a high of only 38 degrees, so that's definitely chilly, so prepare for that. And that low is going to be 27, which means some freezing temperatures, extra cool. And then Monday is going to be beautiful and sunny with 41 degrees.
All right, so not too bad. We got the rain along with the warm temperatures, and
Yes.
then the cold comes.
Yes, so enjoy the warmth, kind of be annoyed by the rain, but the cold is coming a little later.
I'd rather take the rain and the warmth for now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. Coming up, Ball State's women's soccer team notched quite a victory yesterday.
Yeah, and Tony Sandlaben has the final score and the implications. All that coming up next when NewsLink returns.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
This is NewsLink Indiana.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Tony Sandlaben with today's sports news, and it was a big weekend for the Ball State Cardinals, in particular on the soccer field. The women's soccer team played in the Mid-American Conference Tournament quarterfinals on Sunday and shut out MAC rival Kent State to advance to the semifinal round. Junior Elena Musla took care of the scoring for the Cardinals, notching 2 second-half goals, propelling Ball State to a 2-0 victory. Musla had a breakthrough performance as she came into the game with only 1 goal on the season. She scored the first of her 2 goals in the 63rd minute when she took advantage of a free kick from sophomore defender Leah Mattingly. 15 minutes later, she scored her second goal when she took a pass near the top right corner of the box and beat the Kent State keeper to the far post. After the match, Musla had this to say about her performance.
Well, I've had a really hard time this year with scoring goals, and it's been kind of difficult for me, and I only had 1 goal before this, and I guess I got the ball, and I just was thinking, Craig's always telling me to shoot, and I was just like, why not just take a touch and take a shot and see what happens.
The win puts the 4th-seeded Cardinals into the semifinals for the 2nd year in a row. They will travel to face top-seeded Buffalo at 4 p.m. on Friday. Now, I mentioned it was an eventful weekend. That doesn't just apply to the women's soccer team. The Ball State women's volleyball team also had quite a weekend. They dropped a match on Friday to Northern Illinois, but the Cardinals responded with a thrilling 5-set victory against Western Michigan. The two teams alternated the first 4 sets before a back-and-forth deciding 5th that went into extra points. The score was tied at 4 before junior setter Jenna Spadafora came through in the clutch, serving Ball State to a 10-4 lead, blasting a career-high 4 service aces. The Broncos battled back to tie the game at 14, sending the set into extra points. After both teams alternated the next 2 points, middle blocker Haley Benson and outside hitter Sabrina Mangapora hit back-to-back kills to seal the victory for the Cardinals. The win moves the Cardinals to a 14-11 record on the season and 8-4 in MAC play. Ball State returns to action on the road this weekend, 4 matches at Central and Eastern Michigan. Both contests are set to begin at 7 p.m. And moving on to quite a story from local Westdale High School, where the Warriors girls volleyball team has advanced to the Class 1A state championship. The Lady Warriors defeated Daleville, Cowan, and Liberty Christian to win their sectional, then defeated Seton Catholic in regionals to advance to the semi-state semifinals. There, they swept Lafayette Central Catholic before winning a thrilling 5-set match over Pioneer to advance to the state championship. The Lady Warriors are ranked number 1 in Class 1A and will take on number 2 ranked Christian Academy in the state championship. Westdale is also the only Delaware County team to make it out of regionals. The state match will be played Saturday morning at 11 a.m. right here in Muncie at Worthen Arena. Westdale last won a volleyball state title in 2011, and should the Lady Warriors win on Saturday, it would be the first state championship under new head coach Biff Wilson. Now, guys, also something to talk about. The Colts are playing right now against the New York Giants in New York. The score right now is 10-0 with 13:38 left to play in the second quarter. Colts are up. So some good news there for some Indy fans for sure.
There we go. Thank you, Tony. When we return, a man walked a tightrope across 2 skyscrapers last night. That's right.
And an internet sensation is hitting the big screen. NewsLink Entertainment is next.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
This is NewsLink Indiana.
And welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jacqueline Rosali with all things entertainment tonight. 7th generation aerialist Nick Wallenda of the Flying Wallendas again amazed the world with another death-defying stunt last night. Wallenda, who was blindfolded, walked on a tightrope between 2 skyscrapers above downtown Chicago. The walk was split into 2 parts. The first saw Wallenda start at Marine West Tower to the Leo Burnett building, totaling over 1,000 feet in only 7 minutes. From there, he walked from the West Tower to the East Tower in less than 2 minutes. Wallenda made history in 2013 when he walked across a wire above a river in Arizona, becoming the first person to traverse the gorge near Grand Canyon National Park in Arizona. Before that, Wallenda made history with his walk across Niagara Falls in 2012. And move over, Grinch. Grumpy Cat is making a Christmas movie. Grumpy Cat, whose real name is Tartar Sauce, has been an internet sensation since the fall of 2012. The frowny-faced feline has her own website, coffee brand, merchandise, and Twitter page. She lives up to her reputation in the movie Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever. The film will air on Lifetime the day after Thanksgiving. And a documentary shot, produced, directed, and edited by Ball State students will run on WIPB on Thanksgiving. The Healing Wall, a documentary directed by Ball State graduate student Chris Kanowski, is about the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. The documentary showcases how unconventional aspects of the memorial lead to healing for veterans and family. Kozinski said that it was not for a grade or for a class, it was simply an independent project that he and a few of his friends, all Ball State students from an immersive learning class, began working on. 3 of the members Kozinski worked with have been nominated for regional Emmys.
Thank you, Jacqueline. I cannot believe Grumpy Cat is getting his own movie. Wow.
Fantastic.
That's exciting. That's like awesome. Internet sensation hitting the big screen. That's so entertaining.
All right, Ellen, can we look at final weather?
Absolutely. For sure. It's going to be rainy for the next 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So that's something that's not going to be the best, but it's going to stay warm, the degrees, highs in the 50s, but it's going to cool off Sunday and Monday with only 38 as a high on Sunday.
Grumpy Cat is going to be even grumpier.
Yeah, Grumpy Cat will be grumpy about that.
All right, that's all we have for you tonight on NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision. For Ellen Fritz, I'm Olivia McClellan.
And for Tony Sandlaven, I'm Robert Connett. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.